Welcome back, world, to the Verbal Intercourse Podcast. Got your host, Nick Walker, back in the building with you today. Shout out to everybody that's been listening, supporting the podcast, subscribing, sharing it. Really appreciative over here. Today, got a very special guest in the building, Dr. Patsy Slater, Doctor of Physical Therapy, one of my fellow colleagues. So, shout out to you for being on the podcast, hopping on the
Appreciate the
podcast.
invites.
For sure. And we got us a hot topic. So, to start us off, just tell me how you feeling a little bit.
I'm feeling pretty good today. Just chilling. I'm excited to do this though. So I was really happy when you kind of reached out to me, and
Yeah,
once you told me what the topic was, I was like, this shall be
yeah,
interesting. But let's do it.
yeah. One thing I can say about you, like when I first met you, you kind of had this leadership, you like leadership vibes, like leadership capabilities, like your
Uh-huh.
aura. Through the room, everybody can tell you smart, that you like have this aura about yourself that you kind of, I wouldn't, yeah, like a dominant personality, sort of say. Like,
Well,
so
yeah, that's kind of funny because
it
yes,
fit
it
right
works for
in.
me in the business world, and you kind of have to have that mentality to a certain extent because in corporate America, or when you're trying to make it, is killed, or I mean, it's kill or be killed. Most of the time, you got to fight for your own. You got to work your butt off, and you start to learn the ropes, learn how to maneuver in certain situations. You learn how to um, give yourself the best chance, and then you learn a bit on you. So that does give you this certain confidence because you have to have that when you're going into a room full of Caucasian males, because that's what most C suites are made up of. When you're trying to either get a seat at the table, or when you're trying to make an entire new table for others to sit at, um, you don't get that by being quiet and passive and unmotivated. And but the funny thing is that often gets um misconstrued
Misconstrued.
as the personality of that person.
Mhm.
That's just like saying the things that a cop has to go through on the street and all of that. Like, they you don't expect them to come home and still portray that side of them. So when I get home, I don't tend to portray that side of me. Now, is it an actual part of my personality? Yeah, it is. It's a part of me. But it doesn't have to be dominant. Like, it's dominant when it
Right.
needs to be. It's just
Real.
not stupid.
Yeah, for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, I think you was spot on with the fact that, especially as a black woman, you know, you going in a society, especially in physical therapy, that's ran by white Americans,
We have
and
5%.
right, five
So,
percent
and
doctors of physical therapy,
2.3% for Black females.
right, right, and you going in that room of people, and you navigate it by just being strong, and basically telling the people that you deserve a seat at this table, which is definitely profound. I enjoy to see your success on the social media.
Oh,
So I definitely look at you as a successful black woman. That's
I
why I feel
appreciate
like you were so perfect for this topic today, which is
And you have
basically,
always supported me. I do want to thank you for that
yeah,
publicly. Like, you pretty much have followed my career since I graduated from UMC. And I appreciate all the love that you've shown me as I've tried to climb my way through the ranks.
oh yeah, definitely. I love to see you do that. It seems like you always achieving a goal. So so that's what's up. Like I love to see people constantly pushing themselves to climb a ladder. So
What you don't see is the failures, though, and the stress.
yeah,
And,
but that's
you
but that's
know,
what it's about though. That's what it's about, though. You know, I grew up watching Jordan, watching Kobe. I grew up hooping.
Yeah,
So, niggas ain't see them long nights when they was shooting in the gym alone. They just saw 'em hoisting championship trophies. So
exactly.
that's how it's supposed to be.
And I came from a hooping background, so I hooped all the way through college, and that kind of gives you that mentality too. You already know, like, you gotta put in the extra time. You gotta wake up early. You gotta go to sleep late. You gotta sacrifice. Maybe you can't go every time your friends go out or every time you want to do something. So when you do, you enjoy it, but that can't be your everyday.
That's real. That's real. So tell the people a little bit about what you do as far as like a physical therapist, and talk to me a little bit about how you perceive yourself. Do you perceive yourself as a successful black woman as well? Like like personally, do you see yourself as a successful black woman? And does that increase your chances of dating and finding the type of man you want? Because previously, like we was talking about before we got on this broadcast, we both saw clips of the two black males on their podcast, on their platform, basically stating that successful black women, especially women that are in the top percentile of earners, meaning six-figure black women, they they aren't desirable to date due to the fact that they come off as being uh, I forgot the masculine. He said masculine and dominant, and they have this masculine personality as to where they feel like they don't need a man. So talk to me a little bit about that.
um, it's funny because I feel like that's just such a hot topic right now, and you have all these different people just spewing out their perspective, and you haven't had a black professional woman just who really stands up. Because
Right.
guess what? That's chatter. You know what I'm saying? That's your opinion. You're allowed to your opinion. Yada yada yada. But um, for those successful black women who go off of not just hearsay, you're working off of facts. You know that statistically speaking, everything he said was just false news. You know what I'm saying? Um, no, I don't feel like I have lowered my chances because I'm a successful black woman. And yes, I do consider myself a successful black woman. I also consider myself an extremely blessed woman. I don't take it for granted. I'm very grateful for it. I'm very thankful for it. And it doesn't have to be viewed as masculinity or unattractiveness. I think that kind of pokes holes in the person who's saying it because that person is quote unquote trying to be woke or, maybe trying to stir up some buzz. So for me, I think it's, one or two things. Either you're flogging or you're not as woke as you think you are. And I'll explain both. Um, so if you're as woke as you think you are, then that comes with emotional maturity. um, Emotional maturity is not just something that you say, it's something that you show, it's actions that you display. And people who are on that level of emotional maturity, they can see that. Now, when you are looking for like minded people who are quote unquote equally yoked, such as it speaks that you should do, then unless you're speaking that same language, then you're speaking nonsense. And what did your parents tell you about listening to folks who speak nonsense? You don't have to comment on it. You don't have to, it's your opinion. You said it on TV or a podcast. Oh, well. But what you said is not backed by facts or statistics. So if you were actually as woke as you say you are, then you would actually know that. You would know what the statistics show because you would be the type of person if you're trying to sit up here and, you want to go on dates with me, you actually want to date me and in a real way, you got to have a conversation with me. And if
Mhm.
we're having a conversation, then I want to have an intellectual conversation. I at least want that to be on the table because I do want to laugh and all the other stuff. But in these intellectual conversations, You gotta know what you're talking about. I gotta know that you know something beyond what you heard at the barbershop or what you have formed your opinion on. What is this backed by? Because statistics show that higher grossing and higher educated women are 2 times more likely to get married. And it also shows that 83% of 6-figure black men are marrying high earning black women. That's
Yeah,
facts. So
yeah,
that's the actual facts. So what it comes down to is that you have another black man that's trying to skew the narrative, and we're talking about coming back from appropriation and all of these things. When you're feeding into the narrative, you're feeding into the next phase of breaking black people up, and we're doing it to ourselves. Now,
that's
on the
good.
other hand, I say you flogging because clearly somebody hurt your feelings. That's the other thing. you know, you may have tried to approach one of these higher earning women, and you want to tell them everything you got, everything you can do for them. But then, like, once you're, it's not only the money aspect, it's the mental and emotional aspect of it. You can see through certain things, you know what to look for. You spend time on yourself. You've actually taken the time that, certain guys say that you need to find yourself. And by doing that, you no longer accept the same things. There has to be perks to the hard work that you put in. That's one of the perks. you know, you get to you get to be a little bit more selective because it doesn't make sense to pair yourself with somebody that's not equally yoked and then expect it to be successful. So my only other thing is, well, maybe you don't have the viewers that you need. Maybe you don't have the money that you're trying to say that you have. You flogging. Because if you did, then that other female would have noticed those qualities in you, because we have taken our time to study ourselves, know what that looks like, and be able to read through the ones that it don't look like. So that just becomes friend zone or not worth my time. So, I mean,
So, so let me play devil's advocate a little bit. I several times during what you just said, you brought up being equally yoked. And so, and you're successful, and if you follow Patsy on social media, she hanging out with a bunch of other successful black women. So you hang around a bunch of black women that's successful. So you know them. You know them personally. You know their dealings with who they date, stuff like that. Or if they not dating, or hey, I like this guy, or I don't like this guy because of this reason. So for instance, say you personally meet this guy, and when what is being equally yoked in terms of, because this is a really
it
objective
doesn't have to
conversation.
be monetary.
Yeah, it don't have to be monetary, but at the same time, you being a successful black woman, I feel like people get so caught up in saying it don't have to be monetary, when in actuality, money is one of the primary reasons that people get divorced. So I'm saying,
Well,
so
that not necessarily. That's the surface level. That's the
that's
surface level. Um,
okay.
so when you're looking at it, money is the topic, but it's not what's the underlying thing. All right. So um, it could be the difference in mentality,
Yeah,
because someone there's two things that come with being successful. It's the hard work that you put in, and it's the luck that you're given in life. We don't want to take away the fact that some people are just put in better positions. That's facts.
yeah,
But still, there's a certain type of work ethic. There's a certain type of grind, grit, that you have to have. There are certain things that you have seen done, cultured yourself, educated yourself, put time into yourself, those things. And so that is what can make a person equally yoked. So you're looking for those vibes. Now, when you have those characteristics and when you do those certain things, those people, statistically, black, white, doesn't matter, tend to be higher grossing people,
real.
higher earning people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not completely about money. That's just probably what you said, or what you felt like. That was the catalyst, you know. But it's
Yeah,
it can be a deeper, it can be a deeper thing to it. I'm saying is that it can be a difference in mentality. And so you're thinking that money was a driver, but you're emotionally drained because you're not emotionally on the same level. You don't have the same interests. You don't have the same
ambition.
yeah, ambition.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so neither of you should be stifled. You should be
hmm
able to do what you want to do. I should be able to do what I want to do.
yeah. To me, when I was dating, I always looked at it like, honestly, not as a status thing, but I feel like I really didn't take women seriously that didn't at least have a bachelor's degree.
Exactly.
And it wasn't, and honestly, at one point, I didn't take women seriously that didn't have a secondary level or was working on a secondary level a degree. And it wasn't because of a piece of paper. It was more so because of, like, when you look at dating someone, you look at having a family with someone. Like, I know my mama, she had a master's. She was this ambitious woman, and I wanted to marry somebody that was ambitious like her. Of course, you would never date all. You never want to date all the quality of your parents, but
Yeah.
that's the one that's one of the qualities that you would want to have in a partner. I feel like, for me. So I didn't take women seriously that didn't have that second degree or didn't even have a bachelor's at least, because to me, how you gonna emphasize education to our children if you ain't really emphasize it to me? Like, that was just me. I probably get niggas
And
probably get in my inbox after hearing this, and I'm just gonna be like, nigga,
but it's the
I'm just
truth. No, 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 no.
yeah,
So even
yeah,
if it's not said out loud, look, the conversations that go on behind closed are totally different because
for real.
the approach that men have to higher grossing women or higher educated women is completely different. And if they say it's not, it's a lie because um if you don't feel like it's somebody that you can take home to mama or somebody that you can start a life with, then you don't even approach that person in the same way, you know?
Right.
It's the first thing of let's go kick it and chill, come back to my place. I mean, that's the first thing. Okay, if you want to do that, I already know what you know what I'm saying? I already know
Yeah.
what you're looking for. And then
Yeah.
there's the whole um I don't want to call it a movement of, but it's like, oh, if you date, I expect this. Okay, so those are rules that guys put out. Okay. Now I don't want to go on a date with you.
Right.
So I can I can go with my friend and I can go where I want. Since you don't want to take me to the nice
Mm-hmm.
restaurant and you feel like you say, that's cool. That's fine. Guess what? It's not about the money. I can do that myself with my my friend right here and we can have a great girls night. So y'all like
Right.
pushed us towards self-care and self-love for ourselves by saying the things that you say. Now is
Now,
it's
go
up
ahead.
to you how you interpret it and what you do with it. But to
Uh-huh.
get butt hurt over it, nah, it just means you gotta move different.
Now, on that podcast that them two guys they put out, I feel like they took a clip and they ran with it. The people ran with it. If you listen, I didn't listen to more of the podcast. I didn't listen to it at all. I just saw the narrative. I saw articles where they was talking about other parts of the podcast. And
Yeah.
the guy did say he feel like it was black men's black men was the root of the problem of this, though. He was saying that women had to fend for themselves so long that they got more educated, they got they got more financially stable, and it gave them masculine energy. Now, that part, I won't say. I feel like I feel like the term masculine is really giving you an
Yeah.
issue. But what he's saying is, I mean, statistically, black women are the breadwinners in most black families. Like, statistically, that's a legit stat. So
Do you
he
know
wasn't
why?
saying, what you say?
Do you know what the actual statistic is?
What's the actual
So
statistic?
the actual statistic is black women, percentage wise, earn 10% less than
Right.
black men as far as six figures go. So it is around 30% of black men that gross 6 figures or higher and is 20% of Black women. Now you have to look at the other side of it. So why
Mm-hmm.
do more Black women hold the breadwinner in their household? Because of that 30% is being taken from a vastly increased population size. For every 2 Black men, there's 1 Black person,
Right.
Black woman. So let's say you have 1 out of 10 Black women who you have 1 out of 10 Black women who earn over 6 figures. All right, that's
Right.
actually 90%. But if you take 1 out of 100, that's 99%. Now,
Right.
guys can choose from that 1 out of 10. Women, we still got to choose from that 1 out of 100. So it's a lot of riffraff still to go to there.
Right.
Now, that makes a difference. But as far as this whole masculinity thing goes,
Mm-hmm.
it's just words. You can flip it both ways. You know what I'm saying? You can flip it both ways. So if you're thinking that women are more masculine
Mm-hmm.
because of um having,
Basically, just being more successful.
yeah,
Yeah.
being more successful, that's a character flaw within yourself, because we can turn it around and say, Black men are not arguing the fact that they're wanting to be heard. You know what I'm saying? They're wanting to show their emotional side. Black men in therapy, let's call you kings, let's do all of this. You're wanting to get out your emotional side. So am I going to tell you that you being a little
More feminine.
feminine?
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so what if I put that narrative out there and tell people to run with it?
Yeah.
Because if we're
It's
talking masculine versus feminine, the emotions and wanting to get out your feelings and be heard and all of that, those are characteristically feminine qualities.
mm-hmm.
So, young man, if you're telling me that I'm being more masculine, let's talk about why you acting like a girl. So if you want to talk about
Yeah.
it, let's talk about it. But be
I
ready for
feel.
the
I feel
conversation.
like. Yeah. I feel like. Yeah. Masculine shouldn't be the word that's used.
No.
Honestly, I feel like it should just be. It should just be motivation for the black man to do
I
more.
mean,
Like
we
you
can call it what it is. Do I act like a boss? Yes. Guess why? Because my title is that of a boss. Like, I am somebody's boss. I'm not, it's not, when you're speaking to this certain percentage of Black females that we're addressing today, they literally are somebody's bosses. Literally. So yes, they act like a boss. um that's
Uh-huh.
nothing to be offended by. Now, are you trying to say that we have more confidence? Are you trying to say that we have certain qualities that are usually looked at as male qualities?
Big energy.
You know what I'm saying? But when it works in your favor, you cool with it. When it don't, then it's a problem, because now you can't have it both ways. But and I'll tell people that I'm dating, look, I'm a boss at work. I don't want to come home and have to play that same role. Now, with saying that, that gives you the opportunity to play that masculine role. But also, you have to deliver on that. I am willing to follow if you know how to lead. But don't think for a second that I'm going to be foolish to follow the other 99 out of that 100 anywhere. No, that's not smart. What if you don't know where
We
you're going?
right, right. Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
already,
We got to lead. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. Like, a leader knows leadership qualities. You know what I'm saying? You know how to spot out somebody who's going to um do this and do that, who has potential. Like, your job is to groom the next leaders. So if a
Right.
person doesn't display those actions, then you tend not to link yourself with them. And that's more men than it is women. So therefore, the bad rep comes because of that percentage of men who are not there. And it's no not that don't mean you broke. I mean, you're not 6 figures. Like,
Yeah.
it's not saying that you gotta be 6 figures to date them. It's no. So that's a you thing. calm yourself down, and just, if you want a chick, then do the things to get that chick. It's just higher aggressive women are just not dating as frequently. They don't mean they lonely. They just not bringing people to the public.
Mm.
Like, boo, I made what you call dating is not as dating. Now you want to show me off because now you think we dating because no, no, you're not showing me any qualities that mean relationships. So you my friend.
So let me ask you this: Have you been on a date and, well, I won't say that. Guys that you dated in the past,
Mm-hmm.
have they ever called you intimidating due to your success or due to the amount of money you made, or have they ever portrayed any type of jealous traits on your success? Because honestly, I've been hearing a lot of stories from women, and they tell me that, well, yeah, my partner used to be jealous of me and this that, and the other because I was making this or I was promoted to VP or whatever, So talk to me a little bit about that. Have you ever experienced that personally?
I mean, yes and no. Now I did. I straight up had one experience where uh met this guy, and I think was the last time that I really stopped telling guys that I'm a doctor of physical therapy, what my title was and all of that. And I'm just saying, oh, I'm in health, you know, because at a certain point you like, man, I ain't even got a chance if I just leave with this. But
Right.
we were talking, and once I actually went into, what I did, the details and everything, man was completely honest, and he was like, I'm not good enough for you. I don't have a dog in this fight, so I'm just gonna walk away now.
Mm.
Oh, okay then. Well, good conversation. I mean, but or you can have somebody who pretends or who thinks they don't know. Some people don't know what they're gonna do when they find a woman who makes more. They think that their ego can take it. They think that they can vibe. But I mean, maybe it's harder because you still don't. It's not the monetary value of things. It's the mentality. Like, what's your mentality towards money versus her mentality towards money? Um, does your money make you, or do your emotions, your personality, non-monetary things, are those the things that shine within you? Now, if money is what's shining for you, then it's just gonna clash anyway. Like,
But let
there's
me
no
ask
deep
you this though.
connection.
Let me ask you this though. With any of those guys, did you actually express the fact that, hey, like, or did you basically just say, hell nah, you made your choice early on? You see what I'm saying? Like I feel like women say that they be like, yeah, it's more about you having leadership qualities, you being able to express your emotions, you being there for me when I need you to be there for me. But shit, I feel like you should tell them if they don't understand that, because I'm gonna say this,
Tell them
it's a
what.
lot. Tell them that, okay, bruh, like he said, I'm too good, you too good for me. He said that out his mouth, you too good for me.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't no why is that? Was it a why is that?
Oh no, because baby, you ain't have no confidence in yourself.
But that's the thing though. That's the thing
Well,
though. I
that's not
feel
for me
like,
to fix.
yeah, you ain't gotta fix his confidence, but I feel like it should be a conversation. I feel like these conversations ain't had. That's why it happens so much. You see what
Well,
I'm saying?
go talk to your mama or your sister about it. I mean, well, I just met you. Why? I'm not going there with you. But
I
just,
feel you. I feel you. I feel you.
you should
So
just
that's
get a
why I was
female
saying
best
that.
friend and tell her what happened so she can lift your own up.
Real. I feel you. I feel you there because I feel like if you don't express that confidence off top, then yeah, I feel you there. But
Look,
I was
if
saying
I
specifically
gave,
like, it,
the thing is, all right, so yeah, I could have said, why is that? But you didn't take it doesn't matter what
mhm,
I make or what I did. You had an opportunity. Any
right,
opportunity that you get, bro, shoot your shot. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. If I started off with a conversation with you, then you had a opening. Now, how long that would have went, we just gotta see. But you shut the door yourself.
Yeah, I definitely feel you. Like I'm not, I'm personally not one of those guys that really care about like if I'm making more than a woman or if she's making more than me. But I would tell you the majority. Well, I ain't gonna say the majority because that'll be given some type. That'll make me act like I got some type of percentage. But I would say a lot of guys give a fuck about stuff like that, or she's way more educated than me, or this.
They don't. Are you
Some
saying that they do or they don't?
they do. Like I'm gonna tell you, some guys don't approach certain women because of their stature in life.
No, no, no,
That
no. Let's get this right.
now granted, you
Hold on.
do
You
have
saying
your
that wrong.
confident. I'm telling you, I'm a guy. You have your confident ones that don't give a fuck. I'm gonna tell you, you got that section too.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say this: you got a vast majority of guys that do not approach women that make this certain amount of money, got this certain level of education, this, that, and the
They
other.
don't wife those women. They still approach
Oh,
them. They just
well,
don't take them outside. That's it's the difference. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if we're gonna be honest about it, let's be honest about it.
they don't wife them.
I
Okay.
Yeah,
I
they still got somebody pulling up.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But see, she didn't catch the hint when she is like 10 times and ain't been outside. You know,
Right.
you get that phone call at 11 o'clock, you don't get invited to the concerts or anything like that. And you know what I'm saying? You lonely on Valentine's. Yeah, that's what that is. They still doing it, but you know what I'm saying? They're not gonna
See,
wife. And so it's the counterintuitive message that men sometimes send. It's like, oh, if I take you on a date, you better put out. But if you put out, I'm not gonna wife you.
yeah, if you put out, I'm not. So
Make it make sense.
it don't make sense. Just like, for instance, when I was in PT school, when I was in college, I had been in like a 6 year relationship. I ain't get out of it until before PT school at UMMC. So being in PT school at UMMC, that was like college for me, not in a school perspective, but more so like, okay, I can hang out with whatever woman I want to hang out with now.
Yeah.
So like me being a PT school student, just me putting it on social media, and that automatically get a certain type of woman to enter your realm of women that you can talk to. I would be lying if that's not true. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, but you got to look at it from your perspective now. Out of
Yeah,
that, you're the one out of that 100. So your perspective is
exactly,
totally different. You can
exactly.
be a little choosy. The 99
Right.
can't. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
it is different. But it's
yeah.
also different for that 1 out of 5. So if the perception is that higher grossing women are not getting shot at, that's not true.
That just you saying
That's
that
not
not
true.
getting.
It's
Hey,
just who's shooting, you
right,
know?
right. Cause,
It's
cause, cause I remember telling my little cousin, she in medical school at UMMC, and she was like, and I was like, you ain't got no man yet, you ain't got no husband yet. I said, when you graduate and you get that MD by your name, it's gonna be hard as hell. I'm gonna let you know right now. I said it's gonna get harder. It's gonna get way harder once you get that.
but okay, so but think about the reasons that it's harder. It's
Right.
not harder because the men are in I mean, because you are intimidating. It's hard because the men are intimidated. And it's
The percent.
also the fact that the more you know, the better that you do. When you put yourself on that status, put the MD behind your name or whatever, you have reached a different portion of your life. You've seen different things. You've had to go through different things. And you don't make the same mistakes that you used to make, or you don't make decisions as foolishly as you used to make them. You use deductive reasoning. You try to remove emotion from it and start to make logical decisions and not just use the reactive part of your brain. But you have to actually know what the reactive part of your brain and the logical part of your brain that equals the wise part of your brain is first. So if you can't talk to me about that, then again, we're
Right.
not having some conversations. We're not going to talk long. So it's not going to go anywhere. So
Right.
I'm choosing not to waste my time there because I got one life and I'm
Mhm.
going to live it. And just because you want to put out a narrative that because I choose not to waste my time and I choose to use the blessings that I worked for to go out with my friend girls because the narrative that you said is don't expect me to spend my money on you. Cool. Now you flipping the script again.
Right.
Like again,
Hey,
it doesn't
that's
sound
it.
like it sounds like high grossing or higher educated women are at the subject, but that's not the root of the problem. And that's what I do in my job every day. Okay, you tell me you have back pain. Okay, I have sciatica. What does that mean? You
Mhm.
know, it is a umbrella term that fits a lot of different diagnoses. My job is to find out what the actual diagnosis is. So I got to go through all of that to
Don't be
get.
diagnosing. Hello. Don't be putting black men under your umbrella to die.
I ain't trying to diagnose you. I'm just saying, you know, you can't give every part of yourself to somebody.
Right.
Like if you already see it's not gonna work, then what do you want me to do? You want me to lead you on? Would that make you feel better so you can say that you dated me? It's like, is that what you want? Because in actuality, you're only looking for one person. Why I gotta go date the whole world to get there?
Yeah, that's true.
I can already eliminate a bunch of riffraff based on just certain things, all right, the conversations and the knowledge base. And so is it
Mhm.
fair? I mean, yes, no, it depends on your feelings.
Right. So yeah, man. Hey, it's been great having you on, man. We done chopped it up. You done tripped me out, and you done dropped some real knowledge on how black women feel about the commentary that we were just talking about between the black male podcasters and how successful black women look at dating as a whole right now, especially and what I really gather from everything is, black men, we gotta do better, man. We gotta do
I
better. I
mean,
don't know.
wait,
I'm
wait,
doing.
wait,
Oh,
wait, wait. There are a lot of
yeah.
black men that are trying,
Yeah,
like
but we ain't got enough though, nigga. Nope, we ain't got
I
enough.
mean,
I don't wanna put no damn soft disclaimer. We gotta do better. Just simple,
yeah,
simple.
I'm saying just as much as y'all want us to deal with our stuff, go ahead and deal with y'all stuff too, man. And
Hey,
realize that once you start dealing with your stuff, then I
real
bet
talk.
you, just like when you got that doctor in front of your name, the
Yeah,
doors opened up the floodgates to more. Guess what working on yourself gonna do? And being able to hold your own and deal with your own emotions, it's gonna open it up even more. It's gonna open it
yeah,
up to that chick you talking about, to that 83% of grossing 6-figure men. Yeah, that's who getting them chicks. Because
right.
they're marrying black women.
Yeah,
Like they not the
yeah,
ones complaining, I don't think. I think it's that other.
yeah.
And that's what we
It's
listening to.
yeah, hey, we gotta do better, man. So
Y'all
I
gonna
don't
be
know.
alright. We all gonna be alright.
We'll be alright. Hopefully. So, but yeah, thank you for being on my podcast today, Dr. Patsy Slater. It was
Thank
great
you.
having you on. And everybody be safe out there. Keep subscribing and following the Verbal Intercourse podcast. And we out.
See
Peace.
ya.